Mother and Dad's families. I never saw either grandfather or grandmother Bissett, nor grandfather McCarey, but I was 8 years old when grandmother McCarey died. I do remember some about her. A pleasant little old lady sitting in her rocking chair with her prayer book and beads. She was very pleasant to us kids. I sort of remember the peppermint candies she would give us kids sometimes. It is vague, but I do recall she was very pleasant. She seemed so frail. When I think she managed this good-sized farm. Uncle Gene was 16 when his father died. He became head of the family, a custom in those old Irish families. This was Civil War times, about the 1860 time, in western Pennsylvania. My dad, Michael, does not remember ever seeing his father. Dad became a doctor, but first he had to become a school teacher to finance his medical education. He had to teach 2 years to help pay for his medical school for 1 year. During the last 4 years of med school, he got a job teaching at Corwin Center School, which was 2 miles from Dallas Center, where the Bissett farm was located. He and Anna Bissett became friendly. She told me, "We were not engaged, but we had an understanding." Michael finished medical school at Columbus College. It is now Ohio State University. He located in Portville, New York. Eugenia and I were born there and had the pleasure of a delightful life in this nice town. The Ferguson family moved to Portville about 1910. I was in the 4th grade. Norma Ferguson was in my grade. Vivian Ferguson was in the 5th grade. She was always a little bit ahead of me, but I tried to catch up to her. We never had a date as kids, neighbors and friends. She went to Syracuse and graduated to teach home economics. I slipped through St. Bona's, got working in the oil fields, eventually got to Long Beach, California. By that time, Vivian was a widow with a little girl, Marilyn. They came out here to visit her old friend, Molly Hodges. She gave us a call on the phone. My mother invited her to visit. My grandparents on both sides were born in Ireland. Grandmother McCarey was born Mary Caulfield in the village of Monaghan. We know she had a brother, James Caulfield. His daughter, Elizabeth Caulfield, came to the United States and came to visit our family one time. Grandfather McCarey was from the same part of Ireland. He came to the USA as an indentured servant on a 5-year contract. He was a bootmaker in Ireland. My uncle explained it to me one time. You killed the animal, skinned it, cured the hide, and processed it into boot or saddle. In the course of his contract to the saddle and harness maker in Friendship, New York, he arranged for his girlfriend to come to America. She told her family about coming by sailing ship and by stagecoach to meet her boyfriend. They were married in Friendship, New York. Patrick McCarey, as I have found out was his first name, arranged for his brother John to come to America. A cousin, named of McFeeters, was here and he got a job clearing the right-of-way for surveyors who were laying out a railroad from Buffalo to Philadelphia. He found out that you could file for acreage along the line, and he filed for some land for himself and McCarey. Many years later, the McFeeters lot was part of the McCarey farm. The brother, John McCarey, became a missing person during the Civil War. Grandmother Bissett was born Mary Clark from the Dublin, Ireland area. She met and married James Bissett, I think in the New York area where she lived with her brother and his wife Tom and Rose Clark. There also was another sister. I think her name was Jane. She married and became Mrs. Richardson, lived in Rochester, New York. There are a lot of Richardson connections about the Rochester area. James Bissett became an employee of a man named Devereaux, who had trading posts both in Canada and New York. Bissett was stationed in Ellicottville, New York. This Devereux is the same man that gave the land to the Franciscans, where St. Bonaventure's College is now.